purpose 5 on OG, which is probably going to look to do fairly early. Won't go for it this game. But if they group up, they tower, they back off, you have to glimpse one of them back, get a free pick off. Yeah. And that's like a way of getting something out of tower defense. Manage to get the tower. For option.
100%. We've already got early ward rotations from both teams. Moon didn't actually manage to get his down, and okay, Sia making sure to have a good eye on where potential ward placement is. Let's get around to introducing the teams. On Stalk, we've got Boogie on Gyrocopter, Nempi on Alchemist, Valix on that Disruptor. Oxy is going to be played up by Trixie, which leaves us, okay, Sia on the Jakiro.
Over on OG, we've got Fly on the Dazzle, who TP'd on bottom, plays early ward, which did end up scouting the ward the Darkseer placed. Crit on the Rubik, Miracle on his Shadow Fiend, Moon on the off-lane Earthshaker, and Notel on the Carry Necro.
Okay, so I have to be honest, I've been casting a lot of America's Dota. I haven't had as many opportunities as I'd like to see these folks, but I know Miracle's Shadow Fiend is very good. Do you think he's just going to dominate this mid lane, and what does Stalk need to do to shut him down?
I definitely think he has the edge because Elk can't really contest. Really, he just gets enough souls from Razors and have a hard time. But to shut him down, the battle begins. Come tank, yes. The Elk opts to go for stun, but I think it's just going to be maybe look to contest the stacks with that player, so you don't let him too far ahead of you.
Yeah.
That's like their safest way of contesting his farm.
I'm really like super impressed they got this ward down. Like, Crit came around and placed that, and I really like it.
I think they just read that the Hulk and the rest of the heroes were going bottom runes, so they had the ability to take top, and also getting the ward out, as you say, is really nice and Crit.
And we've got our standard 2-2v2 mid that we always see. Miracle actually taking quite a bit of harass, but of course he has a salve anticipating these types of trouble. As you said, I'm not sure I have a lot of faith in Disruptor as a ganking hero for this mid Shadow Fiend, but it's certainly something where if Trixie is paying attention, he might be able to also snipe some stacks in the jungle that are being made up for Miracle.
This is a pretty solid game. There's not too much pressure on you. You just have to worry about the Darkseer, I think, because he's going to get quite a lot of levels bottom. OG can't really zone him out. No, he's already got level 2 off the first wave. He's not getting too many last hits, fortunately. That will change when he gets high levels.
Yeah, at the same time, Necrophos getting much more farm, I think, than he would elsewhere, so you're probably okay with the trade, especially since even if your Darkseer gets huge, you're also going to have this huge Miracle Shadow Fiend. Probably going to just go the Sanj and Yasha build. I imagine No-Tail is going to be the one forced into the mech this game.
I don't particularly like mech on Necro. Quite a mana-intensive hero in the first place, and I feel like...
I think he's Atos.
On the hero. Yeah, like Atos, Octogreen, Bloodstone... items I think are better on the hero, and yeah. Shadow Fiend was pretty good in general. It's not bad.
Yeah, it's a pretty fine pickup. I just wonder whether he'll go the like fast farming build, the Helm of the Dominator, Sanj and Yasha, or the mech. And as you pointed out, either of them can get the mech up early. Shadow Fiend might even be able to get it up earlier, freeing up No-Tail to tank up in a bit more of a traditional sense. But we have Moon taking a lot of damage, being glimpsed backwards. Looks like Moon might be our first blood. Full rocket barrage to the face, and that is a very dead damage. Hellman? Yeah, I don't know if they have the damage output. One more raise, can they hit it? A couple more auto attacks would do it too. But there are TPs in and bottling up and down. Crit, he needs to get out of there, but he's gonna haster and he's gonna be A-okay. So, failed gank mid, unfortunately.
Yeah, if he was level 2, that was a pretty easy kill, but unfortunately he's been moving around the map a lot, not being able to get too much XP. Miracle's gonna be able to finish off his bottle here, and then you shouldn't worry too much about the assets per house.
Yeah, he's playing really riskily here, and I think just understanding, as you pointed out earlier, there isn't going to be a Spirit Breaker charging in, there's no Clockwork or anything. He can play super low and feel safe, and worst case scenario, Fly will pick up a TP and shallow grave him, although looking towards Boots right now.
Yeah, not the ideal start for him, because he's had to ferry 2 selves out, but that's not a problem. No.
Yeah. On these lineups, it does feel like the late game is
Actually
a bit...
gonna get a kill on Jakiro here.
Yeah. Oh, can he wander away from them though? No, it looks like they should easily just be able to... Oh, they actually missed the raise! And now they're gonna have to do it with the auto attacks, but all the creeps get it. Jakiro trying to actually just one-to-one with Crit, trying to draw aggro. Oh, he goes down. Crit playing very patiently there. So, I think that was a super hard deny for Jakiro there. Like, you have to hope... If you wait too long and man fight Crit, he's gonna get spells off of cooldown, which will just zap you down.
I don't think he was level 2 there though, so he only had the auto attacks to worry about from Jakiro.
And Miracle getting a bounty rune, and Alk of course getting that regen. Oh! Rune goes down again up top lane. I have to imagine you're pretty irritated that you didn't get the regen rune as well.
They might actually find Crit as well.
Yeah, Crit!
By the field.
He's gonna use the lift. Will it give him? It does give him just enough, and the immediate TP back from Moon, who's only level 2. He's having a really rough time in this top lane. Oh, and a raise to finish off Nemphy in mid. I don't know how much you caught of that. I think Nemphy may be just coming up to the creep wave to last hit, and I saw the final raise.
I was watching time, didn't get to see it.
Yeah. We can see on the network chart, Nemphy's still topping it, as you expect, and Alchemist too, and then Gyrocopter up next. And yeah, Fly can't even really contest this pull away from Trixie, right? Trixie just comes in, has a grand old time. Unlike Moon, let's see if they can pincer him, but yeah, just gonna surge away.
Yeah, the only time he has to worry is when the Necro gets sick. Even then he has to be fairly low for it to be a kill.
Yeah.
He can play as ballsy as he likes.
So, Nemphy has put up some points into that unstable concoction, so potentially some kills, but they have completely whiffed on finding this ward. I think they were pretty cognizant that there's a ward up there, but both this sentry and this sentry whiffing it.
Yeah, it's a bit of an unusual. Generally expect them to be placed on these lines, so the sentry placement's pretty common from Stark, but OG just going one more. I really like this placement if you sit down without it being seen. Slightly unorthodox. Give you all the vision you need.
Really helpful for Shadow Fiend, who of course wants to be able to throw out those raises, and yeah, you don't have to worry about the acid spray if you just raise down the creeps and then go put some right clicks into Nemphy, but going for the top rune, don't think he's gonna get contested. Let's talk timings for both of these lineups, because Shadow Fiend, Gyro, they feel like carries of equal carriness. I would say Gyro's a little bit harder. Ooh, and they're actually de-warding Stark's wards in mid. But I would say that the Gyro just has a bit more carry potential just because of flat cannon. But other than that, feeling like these lineups pretty even, and it's all gonna come down to whether Trixie gets the big vacuum wall combo, whether Moon can get an Echo Slam of amazingness.
I think the biggest timing OG have is when Shadow King gets mech, if he decides to go for it, and maybe Stark don't have like...
Oh, Trixie doesn't know that they were coming around the corner. A lift into a raise, and that's a very dead Mr. Potato Head. But no tail on the bottom lane. He is in trouble. The danger zone, as I like to say. He's gonna have a heal up. He's looking for some more time to buy so that he can heal, but he might just go down to the tower here. There's the heal out. Fly isn't in range for that shallow grave. That is gonna be rough.
First as a heal.
Yeah.
Actually
Now Crit doing another lift, but Miracle has no interest, and Crit is actually taking a lot of damage, but gonna have a Shadow Fiend ready to raise, protecting him. So death's all over the place, and
really like that rotation. Pushing the wave in, knowing that they just de-warded the ward from Stark, so they don't have any vision. You might think Stark should know about it, but this at the time it's not the most obvious. So,
yeah.
Unfortunately not able to get the stack, which I think was he ended up taking out, but they got the kill on him, so it kind of equalizes at the end.
And I think even if they were hunting the Alchemist, they're still pretty happy to get Trixie, just because it'll delay his mech, it'll delay his blink. So probably going a mech Arcanes first, and then gonna work on that blink, which I think is one of the few things this Shadow Fiend has to worry about. But Trixie having a much easier time in lane than Moon. I think you expect this out of these combos, but Moon's still getting decent levels for an off-lane Earthshaker. And he's got boots.
Yeah, Stark's lane is really dangerous. Destructive Gyrocopter deal with most off-laners, so it's done really well considering. The two deaths are a bit unfortunate, but he's getting his DS with Vicious Spam, and he's getting his levels most importantly.
Yeah, two interesting things. It does look like No-Tail is going for that Rod of Atos. Really cheap way, I think the cheapest way to get that much int. Very cheap for 25 in. Also, we've got Alk rocking a vitality booster. Could just be for the early health boost, but could also be that he's doing some weird hot first build. I don't know.
I think who it was, but there was maybe it was Black who did this. Maybe he didn't go for the Vit booster, but I know he goes for like the casual Sage Mask just for the regen because it works so well with Chemical Rage. Really efficient. And then the Vit booster just tanks you up a bit, deal with like a Fissure into double raise or a Lift into double raise. So then you can go for your Radiance and feel a bit safer.
Yeah.
He obviously doesn't want to go for the Reds instead, so he can get the bots, which is why he goes for the Vit booster.
Certainly, as you pointed out, it is really scary when you've got this Shadow Fiend who hits like a truck, has raises. You don't want to be caught out alone against him. And I really like what both teams are doing. They freed up some lanes for their supports to try and get level 6 on both of them, having up those really powerful ults. So we'll see what this next team fight brings. This Alk is level 8, while Shadow Fiend is level 11. I did not realize that that had happened. This is a pretty big experience deficit for stock.
I think it's mostly just that Ark ended up giving their stacks to Trixie so he could get back on par. Yelp not being able to take them means Miracle's huge advantage, and they're actually working up top. They should be able to get the gyro here.
Yeah, they're going in. They're stalking. They managed to land the fissure, but it's on OKCia, and they're not able to connect after that. So maybe
I like
Moon.
that they didn't go for that.
Yeah.
Priority target.
Maybe Moon can act like he's not there. So yeah, I don't know if they'll be able to catch Boogie here though. They're gonna probably wrap around. There's gonna be another fissure. There should be a telekinesis. There's gonna be some razors. The ice ball catches one, but one more auto attack will do it, and they get it with the razor. Now they're all backing out. Moon actually going around on the other side, seeing what else he can catch off, but there's gonna be no latch. And as you said, pretty happy with the high priority target they just picked up there.
And this is like really clean movement. They just pick up Shadow Fiend. They rotate the Dazzle top as well after this gets the kill, so they're gonna get the tower here. And Dark Hand in a position to trade because pushing in bottom, no one's mid, stacked in the wood, so this is perfect to start for attack.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Now, do you think Stark has the late game if this potentially goes later, or are they in a pot of trouble being already about 3,000 experience behind?
I think Necropus is the late game factor for OG. If you manage to get caught out, which they definitely can, when you have Earthshaker and Rubik, you have a decent catch. You can get a big kill late game.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
5v4. It's a bit scary if they start to go late game, but they definitely have the wombo combo.
Yeah.
OG group up and mess up their position that can capitalize on it, but I don't think OG are gonna let that happen.
Dire's
At least
middle
at
tower
this stage
is
of the
under
game.
attack.
Pretty confident now.
Radiant's bottom tower
Once they
is
realize,
under attack.
or when Doxia gets a blink, and once they realize it on the lineup of OG, I imagine they'll stay pretty spread. Right now they're together, but there's no way for this Doxia to initiate on them. Yeah, Vacuum into Static Storm could be amazing, with the cooldown to boot as well, but I don't know what the odds are of getting it off before a blink on the Doxia, and maybe Jakiro even
Dire's
needs the
middle
duels
tower
up
is
first
under
too.
attack.
And even if they have, like, the low supports right now, there's a mech on the Shadow Fiend. Almost finishing Assange as well. It's really hard for them. They're doing the right thing now, trying to push in lanes, way,
Radiant
get a bit of
structures
control
are
with
fortified.
this vision. I like that they're trying to block out the camps just to play like more efficient. But right now, OG will really look for the tier 1 bottom as well after they push this out. He's been DD on Miracle.
Of course there is. Of course there is. He's almost got... He finished the mech. He's got his Sange up. We'll be quickly approaching that Sange and Yasha. And actually, they catch out OKCia. Unless he turns around and gets a really nice Ice Ball. I don't even know. Oh, they return Ice Ball and OKCia dying to his own abilities. That's always rough. And now if Alex isn't careful, he does manage to get out. The kinetic field not holding him for long enough, but... They're searching on this lineup of OG. And if Trixie, yeah, the immediate TP out, I like that play. But instead they'll just transition their DD into an early Roshan. Super easy to do with presence of the Dark Lord. Oh.
I don't think they Roshan for what DD, so it's really unfortunate for Star. However, this is something they look to contest. Unfortunately, they have no vision around here, and they only have level 1 vacuum. But this is like the one fight I feel like they could take early. So they're not on best, so OG is just going to get this for free.
Yeah, Gyrocopter preferring to farm up. He's doing well. He's not doing poorly by any means, but I think a big problem. Oh, Miracle's actually taking a huge amount of damage. Static Storm throw from him as well. They've got the telekinesis on Valak. They get him to the high ground with Miracle. Even with the mech, he's gonna go down to Roshan. It looks like they managed to pop to Roshan and Miracle just gets it, but the immediately expended Aegis is not what OG wanted. An Ice Path up to top lane onto the Valak, and he also stole a spell there. Managed to get the kinetic field with Fly. He's now in a lot of trouble, taking huge amounts of damage. Requiem of Souls comes out, but the Ice Path slowing down Miracle, and it looks like Fly's gonna be lost in the exchange. They're trying to go for the stun, another high ground, but it doesn't end up working out. And now Fly, is he really gonna get away here? Reaper Scythe onto Trixie isn't what kills him, but he gets out, and Fly, he gets another heal off. One more auto attack, the Fissure saving his life. Insane plays from Moon, and Nephi probably gonna go down here despite the chemical rage. There's the heal, there's the raise to finish him off. I can't believe Fly didn't die there. He was on 1 health for most of that fight involving the shallow grave, but just the saves coming out from his teammates. I actually thought Crit had doomed him to die when he went for the cliff high ground, getting somebody stuck on the cliff instead of using the telekinesis for the secondary stun, but Fly just had way too much regen.
Yeah, he's really high level as well, so
Dire's
the low
bottom
cooldown on the
tower is
shadow
under
wave is
attack.
really hard to deal with this early in the
Dire's
game. The
structures
Stark
are
is
fortified.
outside their Jara, they don't have the most damage right now, and I think he was zoned out most fights so he could get in.
Yeah.
Considering they got the Aegis, I thought that was ideal for Stark, but then they forced their
Dire's bottom
hand
tower
too
is
much, and they
fallen.
went into OG when they had 5 heroes there.
Yeah.
Getting a bit too greedy.
Dire's structures
Definitely felt like if they had
fortified.
Aegis and back, it would have been a very solid fight for them, and OG would have been upset. But now Nephi, he takes the fissure. They decide not to go in. Miracle actually pretty undecided. Might be taking an unstable concoction to the face. Do they have enough damage though? And Miracle, he's just pounding into them. One more auto attack will do it. Now he's gonna work on Trixie. Ice Paw suddenly slows him down. But then now finally with the creep storm, the other rocket barrage is gonna do it. There's a static field. Miracle needs to get out of this one. Doesn't have mech. Does have bottle charges though on the side, and No Tail's also zoning. This glimpse back. I don't think Miracle even bloody cares. 2 heals coming out, and he's suddenly back up close to 1,000 health. This Shadow Fiend, I think, is out of control. He is almost double the Alchemist net worth, and that is an Alchemist with maxed, oh, not quite maxed because he maxed the Acid Spray, but 3 points in Greevil's Greed.
Miracle's been playing really well this game, and it was first round 2 Shadow Fiend, and Stark to not deal with it, knowing how well they play with this. So right now they just have to play like trade game. If they try and fight, they're going to lose. They should know this. I hope they don't 10 towers like outside their base. They're just gonna have to hold the high ground, even without Aegis. They are extremely
Dire's
confident right
middle
now,
tower
and they have
is
another
under
Dion
attack.
on Miracle, so they're gonna probably try and save this one for their next tower. Maybe force some damage on high ground with it.
And they've got enough time, it feels like, to take these outer tier 2s and then go for the next Roshan. If they just kind of slowly push up top lane, Roshan might be spawned by the next time. You could wait out Roshan, just take Stalk's jungle, really shut them down, make sure they can't get back in this game. And as you pointed out, I don't see fantastic high ground defense. Like, yeah, you've got Acid Spray and cooldown, like, you don't kill
Still
creeps.
cooldown based, so it's awkward for them. It takes too much time for them to kill waves, but it's how they have to play right now, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I'd expect OG to get a gem on Fly as soon as he has some money.
If you're this Gyrocopter, are you now rushing BKB instead of something like the Sanjin Yasha?
He has to. Miracle just too much damage in the fights. Even his right clicks are really scary at this point, but if you can get CC'd, you can at least get away a bit from those right clicks, stay in the fight a bit longer.
And I don't want to say it, but it does feel like it's a bit late for the Radiance on the Alk from the standpoint of he's not... We're not at a point where it's super useful.
He committed to build, and a lot of players don't like to change.
Oh, he actually misses the Blink Initiation on Valix, but that is going to be a very dead... Red Dude riding a pony? Oh gosh, that's so sad.
Yeah, I really
Dire's
like when
top
teams...
tower is under
Like,
attack.
we saw it the other day where they track kill here, waiting on the Necrophus to get there. I just like that, it's more efficient. They know what they want to do.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
It's just so sad when you see it. Like, I'm a support disruptor. I want to get some mad levels because I'm level 7. Oh, what's that? I'm dead for 60 seconds. And yeah, here comes the high ground push. Miracle has a DD. He's going to walk out of the cooldown. No sort of lockdown for that. And they have it. It just feels like they're not stacking these. Wasting the cooldown there. Yeah, it's not the longest of cooldowns, but they're not going to have it for this entire push. And how do you stop Miracle on your high ground? We've got some TP rotations coming back. There's going to be the dual breath, but Miracle does not give a damn. Wants to use this DD as much as he can. He takes a bit of a stun, but now more and more sieging. And he's got folks buffing him up with the medallion. He doesn't even care that much about this acid spray. Nempi wants to come in and do something, but this Radiance burn is really sad at this point.
Yeah, OG are playing this really well with their support position. But like, you just can't go on the Shadow King because you know the Grave to save him. Moon isn't quite there yet, so the counter initiation isn't yet, but they can't kill him. Moon has time to come over.
They've got
pushing middle as well.
They've got the tower, they've got the stable concoction out on Miracle, but again, just feeling like it tickles them. And with the amount of sustain this team outputs with the Dazzle and a Necrophos and the mech, which they still haven't used, Miracle decides to back a bit, might just farm a creep wave, you know, while farm some jungle. Actually, they are rotating No-Tail down, so I guess this is the end of the siege. I'm a bit surprised because it felt like they got the tower down. They could really easily just slow siege either Rax.
I think the Rax is a tiny bit riskier, but you're at the point where they're so far ahead, if they just do what they're doing, they're actually going to find the Gyro.
Yeah, they've caught him, and Echo Slime extended as well. Unfortunately, No-Tail isn't here, and Boogie is still alive, but he goes down very quickly to the auto attack of the Shadow Fiend, and now let's see if Stock can mount any sort of defense, and no. Are you saying that the high ground's just a bit more dangerous because of the static field Darkseer vacuum combos that are easy to land when folks are up on your hill?
I think they could go for it, but at the moment, so far ahead, if they just chill a tiny bit, they had a lot of gold on their heroes, like Crypt 4 stuff. Moon's working on one as well. No-Tail didn't have his BKB at the time, so maybe it was just an item timing that they wanted to wait for. Now they're looking to go back to it, because they definitely can. I like the fact that they're not rushing it. They know they have control of the game right now.
Yeah. Really well played game coming out of OG. And their heroes are really rich. Fly is rocking 1500 gold right now. I mean, that shouldn't be. He's a support Dazzle. I'm expecting him to be poor. Rubik has a full 4 staff and a none.
Level 3 vacuum to steal as well. He actually had that from the high ground push, so I expected him to spend gold on a blink. But this is just like the next level of Dota, where you realize you're in a position where you don't need the blink in the game now. If they can kill your Shadow Fiend, your blink doesn't. Whereas if you can force them away from like all their crap, then much better. So I like the pickup.
Oh, they already burned Glimpse, hoping to catch out Crit, and now they're going in deep. Use that Rod of Aces. No-Tail has a BKB. He doesn't care about your Static Storm. Now Trixie's gonna be the next one to come in. He tries the vacuum miracle through the wall, but there is not enough damage, and they're just gonna work on the towers. No-Tail's BKB is down, so maybe there's something they can do, but this wall placement, not ideal for this high ground siege, and these flat cannon shots just tickling the lineup of OG. Miracle's just pounding away onto that melee rack, and I think it's going down. An Ice Pulse relating, but Crit with the return vacuum, and there's gonna be a Requiem of Souls. Crit is getting low, but Miracle, he has his BKB up, and he gives no cares about what you're doing. Just gonna walk over to Trixie, finishes him off with a raise. They still actually haven't gotten the racks. No-Tail instead doing some work on the Shadow Fiend illusion. They should just work on pounding this down, but they're gonna wait the next creep wave, and I know they killed off some folks there, but a little bit surprised they just didn't finish off this melee racks while they had the time in the base. But here it goes. They have everything they need. There are no buybacks on the lineup of Stock, and they have gotten themselves an easy lane of racks. Range gonna fall very quickly now. They've got a good ward up from Stock, so they can see all of this, but there's no response with their big ults being down.
I wouldn't be surprised if OG look to finish mid as well now. However, they do have some gods. They might do a similar thing where they let their items out and they chicken or go back to base.
Yeah, it's a really long spawn on Roshan, almost max length, folks, so I don't think they can wait for that, but it'll maybe give Stalk some breathing room, ability to get some items on their gyrocopter. But even with that, it just feels like the lineup of OG, they're super tanky on their front line, as this Shadow Fiend rocking 1700, probably even 1800 if you change those boots to strength. And No-Tail.
By this ward and a glimpse.
So a big, nice kill for them.
That's a decent amount of money. However, it's not going to matter if She managed to get this rush. I definitely think that's. I have to know the exact timing that it's up. Smoke with lanes pushed out and take an immaculate team fight for the same to turn around.
Yeah, we were at about a 20,000 net worth lead and probably 13,000 experience when this graph calms down. We are really far ahead on OG. And this is something you don't want to see. Your Alchemist is a hero that has to play from being ahead. This Alchemist is so far behind, 7,000 net worth behind this Shadow Fiend. This isn't how you play an Alchemist.
But this is what they should have known was going to happen. Maybe they didn't need to take the stacks in the wood. Then Elf would have gotten his farm a lot earlier. But when you put him mid against Shadow Fiend, which they should have known was coming, he's going to lose far more, generally.
Yeah.
Shadow Fiend
not
gets more out of it.
not easy. Now, your Miracle, you got 4k gold. What are you building up next?
Getting a butterfly, I think.
Nobody really right-clicks you, though, on stock, either. Oh, and Memphis won't go down. Luckily, the Radiance mischance working out for him there. So, I don't know, I feel like, yeah, you can go with the butterfly, but no one's actually touching Miracle, you know?
I think it's, like, the most, like, defensive / offensive item in general. Because you're getting an Aegis soon in your mind. You're thinking Skadi might be a bit too offer me enough damage output, so between. Quest Dark looked smoke to get the off, so he's gonna find Notel, TP. And they might even catch him and
and Moon just helping him out. Notel actually thinking about going back in. He pops that BKB. He's just gonna kill off OKC, but he isn't able to. There's the heal. He finally goes down. Doesn't get the Reaper side kill, but now they're working in on Nempy, and they know he just TP'd out of top. He does have its backup cooldown finally, but not enough. And he gets right-clicked down, and now Trixie to follow. This is looking disastrous for Stock. And I wanted to say something that, yeah, they called the GG. They had a bunch of smokes on cooldown on Stock. This was like their first one used in ages. So.
They were never in a position to get the smoke OG though, because they were stronger at most points of the game, and they didn't pick heroes that fight before OG got their levels and their items. Gotta be honest, I think this was just like OG completely outclassing